Hi, welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making a buttermilk cake. I've got my thing written down here, what I want to say, because I know I won't say it right. But Tammy from MTN Grandma and Tina from Life in the Pentagon has so graciously asked us, Greg's channel, to be in her cake cook-off. And can you imagine having 30, 35 cakes recipes at one time, or whatever they end up with? This is going to be wonderful. So I want to thank you very much for inviting us to be a part of it. And then I want to ask everybody to go to their channels and watch every video. There'll be a playlist posted. Go to each one every day. And even if you only say, looks good, looks yummy, or something like that, go ahead and do it. That way you'll be entered in their drawing, which will be March the 3rd. Gee, that's Greg's birthday. Okay, now I have written down most of my ingredients because I just forget. I've got 2.5 cups. 2 3/4 cups of flour, and to that I'm going to be adding, my cup wasn't good and dry evidently, I'm going to be adding 2 cups of sugar. Sugar. Okay, then I'm going to, I had that in there. Okay, then I'm going to bring this together with my whisk so it's all blended in good. Now, I wish my grandma was here to make this. It wouldn't be any problem. She'd make it without even looking at anything. She probably made 500 of them. Okay, I need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And I need 1/4. That don't want to open. I need 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. Okay. I want to just get that all incorporated real good. Yeah, I can imagine how many of these my grandma made. You know, at my grandma's house, there was always a cake, a pie, a dish of cookies. Always something like that sitting around in the kitchen. Until Paul came in. Once Paul come in, it's gone. But she must have baked every day. I'll tell you, what a woman. Now, I'm going to set this aside. And I'm going to take and set it over there and spill it probably. I'm going to put in my, let me look, make sure I don't forget. I'm going to use 1.5 cups of buttermilk. Can't go wrong with buttermilk. Well, okay, over here it is. I knew it was somewhere. I'm going to add a tablespoon of vanilla. And then I'm going to add 2 eggs and 1 yolk extra. But and then I'm going to have 1 egg yolk. I mean, yeah, just the yolk of the egg. I don't want the white. Save that for something else. Then I'm going to bring this all together. I was going to tell on myself. I don't know, it's been many years ago because Greg was still living at home. And we lived down in Troy, Ohio. And they were listening to the, must have been the Grand Ole Opera, because there were a lot of the country stars singing and everything. And one of my all-time favorite country stars was always Lynn. And I think she was my father's favorite. And she was beautiful. She was a lady, that's for sure. So, anyway, I'm going to try to bring this together slowly so I don't make it lump or anything. But it's not going to be totally smooth like your regular cakes are. Anyway, Lynn had sung, and I was in the kitchen. I'd fixed dinner earlier, and I'd promised them I'd make a dessert later. I'm going to add about half of my mixture and let it get all mixed in and incorporated in this. But I turned the oven on. I was doing a cake, and I hollered out in the living room to my husband and to Greg. I said, I'm baking a cake. I'm going to see if I can bake a cake as good as LouAnn can. And then if I can, maybe I can sing like her. Well, neither one happened. Tell you the truth, neither one happened. But I was mixing my cake all up and got it in the oven. It looked pretty good. Pretty proud of it. It's nice and smooth. And I went out in the living room, sat down with them, and was watching TV. And my husband says, "What's that noise?" And I listened. I said, "I don't know. It's coming from the kitchen." So I went out in the kitchen. It was coming from my oven. Well, lo and behold, my cake, I don't know what I did to it. To this day, I have no idea. But it was making noises. Blah, 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 noises like that. And I'm like, I don't think it's supposed to do that. It was one of Lynn's recipes. And I'm sure it didn't do that for her. Now, I'm not going to mix this anymore because if you over mix it, your cake will be tough and burnt. So anyway, I'm going to put it in my prepared cake dish. So I'm standing there looking in my oven, thinking, I really don't think that should be making that noise. And so then I very carefully opened my oven door, because I don't like to open the door when I got a cake in it. But I did. And my cake was going, in the middle, was going like a volcano. Whoop, whoop. And it kept doing that. And I'm sitting there sitting down on my knees laughing, thinking, what in the world have I done? I couldn't think of anything different that I had done to it. So I kept my husband hollering. He says, everything okay in there? I'm like, not really. So him and Greg came in, and of course Greg was dying laughing at me. And I said, I don't know what he did. I said, but it don't look like it's supposed to. And it's making funny noises. And it looks like a volcano in the middle. So I sat there for a couple seconds looking at it. I was almost in tears thinking about it because I had worked hard on that. And Greg says, this means you're not going to be able to sing either, Mom. I said, go away. Go away. But he didn't. So I started to get up off of the floor. And all at once, my cake went blip. And I mean, it was like a volcano. It just exploded. It went everywhere, even into my oven. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh. I said, well, I can't bake like Lynn. I can't sing like Lynn. But I'll always love her singing and baking. So I just kind of let it go at that. But that was terrible. I mean, I had a terrible mess. And they didn't get any dessert because I said they laughed at me, so I wasn't going to make anything else. Either eat that, I wouldn't even eat it, or do without. They did without. So I'm going to sit this in the oven for about 30 minutes, and then I'll check it. And then I'll be back with you, and we'll make the glaze for it. I am back and I have my cake out of the oven. It baked for 45 minutes. Just bake it until it's a golden brown, and then you want to let it cool for a little bit before you put your glaze on it. So I'm going to go ahead and make my glaze for it. And I'm going to use a stick of butter. And 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar. Brown sugar. You can use light or dark. Doesn't matter. So I'm using light. Incorporate that in with my butter. Maybe it won't be lumpy then. Or maybe it won't do like my Lynn cake did. Blump, blump, blump. Okay. That was so funny. Funny now, wasn't funny then. And I'm going to use a teaspoon of vanilla. I've got to get some beans so I can make me some vanilla. And then I'm going to use another 1/4 of a cup of buttermilk. So okay. Let this all melt together. And then we're going to use make a mess, Vera. It wouldn't be me if I didn't make a mess. The other day, my grandson was here, and his children, and we were making caramels, and without thinking about it, the caramels cooked over. I was doing something with one of the kids probably, and he wiped it off the best he could, but it was underneath the pan. Oh, you talk about a smell. So anyway, I'm gonna get that done. Get this melted. It's always fun to have the kids come and help cook or do something. His youngest one is the one I call my farmer. He always helps with the garden. And I'm telling you, he's a worker. He will, in the beds, the risen beds, he'll turn that dirt until it's absolutely smooth like this. If he can't get it like that, he'll use his hands to do it. And last year I kept the 3 of them. He has an older brother and sister, and I kept them during the summer on Mondays while Mom and Dad worked to give my daughter a break so she didn't have 9 kids every day during the week. If I keep some of them on Monday, and then her husband doesn't work on, he's off work on Friday, so he helps. But that's still a lot. She loves it. She wouldn't change it for the world. So now I'm going to incorporate my powdered sugar. I hooked up my mixer. I don't know. I may use it. You can if you want. But anyway, my little Connor, he's 7. He said, Grandma, put his arms around me. He says, Grandma, I just can't wait till we can start planting till I can come here that day during the week and we can start planting our garden. And oh, you don't know what a blessing that is. I mean, I'm sure you do because you have kids and grandkids, but for him to remember that that's what we did last year, and he's looking forward to it this year, it sure means a lot. Now I have that ready. Don't put it directly on the cake when you first take it out of the oven. You have to let the cake set maybe for 30 minutes until it cools a little. You want it a little bit warm, but it has to be cool. So you don't want it cold. And so I'm gonna, and you don't want your glaze putting that on there and it cold in it real hot. I'm going to poke holes in it so the glaze will go down inside of it. And I want to take this opportunity to thank Tina and Tammy for inviting us to be a part of their collaboration. It's so nice when you can go back and forth and do your collabs together and support each other. And I hope everyone will support both of them by going to their channels and watching all the videos. Now there will be a playlist down, Greg will have it posted somewhere, for all the channels and people that are in this. This is quite a thing to put together and to get someone for every day. And I just appreciate them letting us be a part of it. Yum yum. I really appreciate them. So I hope you'll go and support each and every channel, because she's going to have a drawing on March the 3rd. We want as much of that to go down inside as we can get. Now that's smelling good. And you know, of course my husband and I aren't going to eat this whole thing tonight. Probably not tomorrow. It will last several days in the refrigerator. So, and then it's best though when it's served warm, like right now. So when you take it out of the refrigerator, cut a slice and set it in your microwave for 20 seconds to get it warm, and then eat it. Come on, soak in there. That smells so yummy. I can't wait 30 minutes. Sorry. Okay. I think that's got most of it. Yeah, you can see it soaking down in. Well, I normally don't do this, but I saw Greg do it the other day. So I think I'm going to take a lesson from his book, and I'm going to go ahead and have a little taste of it. But like I said, you're supposed to wait 30 minutes. Maybe 20, but so I'm going to cut it. Probably won't come out good. His came out perfect. But I'm getting all these holes showing up in the top of my cake from where the glaze went in at, which is fine. Oh, this is moist. Well, I didn't do as good as he did, but I got it out. But it's fun to make something like this and remember when your grandma made it, or your mama. Nope, can't. Oh. I love the crumbs on the sides because that's where all the moisture is in it. But oh my goodness. I can see where the cake is and where you're down through here where you've got your glaze going down in it. When you first put it in your mouth, it just kind of squishes and you can feel the glaze coming out of it. Oh, that is so good. I hope everyone tries this. Let me know if you've had it. I'm sure a lot of you have because of your grandma's doing it. So, it's great and flaky and it's just delicious. Okay, better quit. Okay, try this. And let me know if you've had it before. Like I said, your grandma's probably made it for you. And one of the reasons I think they made it all the time was they had chickens for their eggs. They had their own buttermilk. My grandma made hers. It was just about everything that's in it is something they'd have in the house all the time. So, because they didn't do like I do, run to the store and get something every time I need it. They used what they had, and if they didn't have it, they didn't make that day. They waited and made it some other day and made something that day that they had. So, I want to thank Tammy and Tina both for inviting us to be in this collaboration with them. Please, please go to all the channels and check out what they're baking. It may be cookies, it may be a cake, it may be cupcakes, I'm not sure. But I do know it will be delicious. And Greg will put up a list of all the channels to go to. And then on March the 3rd is the drawing. Some of these times when they have these drawings, I just think, oh, I wish I could be in that because they always have such nice gifts. So take advantage of the cakes. Get your recipes all wrote down. And if you have any questions about this one, let us know. We'll try to get back to you. So just look below. You'll find the recipe. Make it. Let me know what you think. And we'll go from there. We love you all. And we just thank you bunches for being with us.